Good evening, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. Well, guys, I told you guys how yesterday we have some like family stuff that's going on right now, but then we also have got, you know, we're trying to get these bedrooms all finished up, and the next plan is that, you know, like Jack has one coat of paint left to put on the closet and we're done with the other room. It's all painted, but we obviously, I told you guys, waiting for my cousin. Like, his company is going to be doing the floors, a couple of the drywall things, the trim, so they're coming to do that. But we're gonna paint this room before they come, because they're also doing the floor and trim in here as well. So that's the plan. But we need to get all of my stuff moved out of here, and like I think my bed we're gonna move into the other room. Like that's where I'm gonna sleep until I officially have to be out of there. Like they're coming, you know, like the next day. So I'm kind of going to be without a room. But most of my stuff has to be in other parts of the house right now while we take everything out of both rooms to be able to paint them, and until we get both the rooms finished. So like I said, we've, you know, I started packing. I think I showed you guys like some of the stuff back here is missing. Like my shelves back here too, there's some stuff that's missing off of them, like all my decoratives, and I have some of the books packed away, not all of them, but either way, I've got some stuff, you know, again, started. And a lot of my desk actually has been kind of packed up and in boxes that are in the attic right now. So anyways, like I was saying, you know, that has been our project recently. But yesterday night, we all of a sudden found out that there is a leak somewhere. And it might be like a pinhole, I forgot what my dad called it, like a pinhole leak or something like that, in our pipe that is either behind our water heater or it's underneath the water heater, because the area around it, like where the pipe comes out of the water heater, out of the wall, there's some type of leak behind it. Like you can see it. Like yesterday we were noticing it was really hot in there. We couldn't figure out why, and it was because it was from the hot water side, which the thing is, there is a shut off on the hot water like valve. However, it is corroded and you cannot turn it off, and my dad is scared that if he even tries to, it's gonna like be an even bigger problem. And so like we replaced our water heater a handful of years ago, so that's why we don't really think that it's the water heater that's the problem, and it's probably the pipes. But like I said, we replaced the water heater a handful of years ago. It was my dad and like a friend like that was a plumber that ended up doing it, and when they did it though, the like valve didn't get actually turned all the way. At least my dad doesn't think so, because the pressure has always been off since like they ended up replacing the water heater. And it's only with the hot water though. Like when you run cold water, there's good pressure, but when you run hot water, the pressure's not as good. So it's probably that valve. But again, too, the valve is all like corroded, so you can't like turn it off or anything. So right now we've had to turn the water off from like the main water shut off, and so we have to like when we have to go to the bathroom, wash our hands and stuff like that. And like, you know, again too, like Jack had to take a shower before he went to football today. I took a shower already too, but like we have to like turn it on from the main shut off, and then like, you know, like quick go and do whatever we need to do with the water, then come run back and turn it off again. So like I said, that's how we've been having to function recently, which again, if we had the shut off for the water, the hot water that we think is the problem, then we could still have the regular water on and just only, you know, it wouldn't be any hot water that'd be coming out, it'd just be cold water, but we could still use the toilet, wash our hands and stuff like that, because like the toilet water just fills up with cold water anyway, you know, and it's not that big of a deal to wash your hands in cold water either. So like, you know, that's not that big of a problem. Taking a shower is a little bit more tricky, right? But you know, like we could still have running water. We don't, and so we've had to turn it on and turn it off when we are like desperately need it. The thing is too is that we have dishes that need to be washed, so and like there were like dirty dishes and everything like that, so we avoided washing I avoided cooking anything for dinner tonight so that I wouldn't dirty any dishes. But also too, like I tried to use my time smart when we did have the water on. So like Jack took like a 5 or 10 minute shower, and during that time I washed the dishes so that we could, again, kind of like, I just filled the sink up so that then I could wash them and we could turn the water back off. But like, and also too, because they're coming to, you know, work on the plumbing tomorrow, the laundry room like is like gross and it needs to be like vacuumed, and it needed to be mopped too, honestly. So I was like, okay, I'll fill up a bucket of mop water and mop the laundry room floor, because like we had to move so much stuff that was in there out so that they can like get through and access, you know, the space and stuff like that. Just a lot better, because we know that like they're going to be moving like possibly the water heater and possibly cutting into the drywall, like all that kind of stuff. So we were like, let's try and, you know, like move stuff out of here. But obviously you move it out and you're like, oh my gosh, look at, there's all this dog hair, there's all this dirt, you know, like stuff like that. And then after I vacuumed it, I was like, wow, the floors still look really bad. And like, it's really bad, like vinyl, like tile, I don't even think it's tile, I think it's vinyl, like sheet, you know, like stuff, that like looks like tile, but it's not individual like tile squares. It's just like a roll of like vinyl flooring. It's like really, really thin too. But that's what's in the laundry room. But like, it looks dingy anyway. But then on top of that too, it like looked dirty. So I was like, okay, well, let me try and get like a quick bucket of water filled up, and I can like, you know, try and clean the floor in there too. So we, like I said, when we did have the water on, tried to use it smart, I guess. And also too, like, I brushed my teeth while Jack was taking a shower. We tried to use the water in the most productive ways possible when we had the water turned on for like a very short period of time. And like my dad too, he has to take a shower before he goes to work, and again, he'll have to turn the water on for a little while, like while he takes a shower in the morning. So like I said, that's what we've been dealing with. But then again too, packing up my room, there's some of my stuff is in the living room right now, and also everything from the laundry room is in the living room right now. So like, our house looks like we're packing to move out of it right now, but everything's in the living room. So, and like, we don't have another room. Well, no, actually we do. There's a bunch of stuff that's also in the spare room right now that is currently going to be my room and is painted, but there's stuff in there too. Like, that was also from underneath the stair closet, because possibly they'll have to end up going into the crawl space too, with, you know, that's how like the pipes are. We only have plumbing on the first floor, there's no second floor plumbing, so all the pipes are under, like, you know, in the crawl space. So we had to get everything out of there. That's all in the laundry, or in the spare bedroom, all the stuff from underneath the stairs that we had to move out so that they can get access to the crawl space. So again, it's just like, you know, it also like has to happen at this point in time, but you know, like, nothing can ever kind of be smooth. It's like, oh, you have like, you know, stuff going on. And like, not only that too, you know, this is the first football, or not first week of football, last week was, but like, they have the scrimmage on Friday before the first official game next week. But they're treating this like an official game, like everything's gonna be like real, like they're gonna have the headsets, like, you know, everybody's gonna be, you know, pretty much doing everything like they normally would. It's just the game doesn't count towards the record. And I think I told you guys too, like, they're not doing kickoffs, but you know, they're gonna do the camera, like I have to be there for that, you know. Again, my dad, who normally is up in the booth, he's gonna be up in the booth, like they're doing the headsets, like, you know, all of the normal, it's like a prep, you know, game for the first game of the season, you know, try and work everything out, the bugs, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, in addition to, there's that going on. But, you know, of course, there's water, you know, like coming out from, it was like steam that was coming out, which is why the laundry room was so hot yesterday. Like, we couldn't figure out what was going on, and we thought like it was from the dryer, because I was doing laundry yesterday, and it wasn't from the dryer. It was from the steam from the hot water pipe behind the wall, or possibly, again, underneath. But it was like coming up because there was like condensation on the pipe, but we couldn't see any like actual water. Like, it wasn't dripping out of the pipe, it was just on the pipe. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, the steam was probably coming up from the other side of the wall, and then was like getting onto the pipe and then resting there. And then, or also too, because the pipe was so hot, because if there was a leak somewhere, then it was constantly pumping hot water through it, so that could have also been why. But anyways, like I said, it's just, you know, like everything going on, and it's all going on at once, of course, you know. So I do remember though, I think we've replaced the hot water heater. It had a leak, the old one, it had a leak in it during football season. And I think it was right before the football games, like one of the football games, like when Jack was in elementary school. And we went to whatever the game was, and it was like the water heater had like went out and started leaking like that morning, I think, or something like that. So my dad's like, I'm gonna just have to deal with this when we get back, because we were like literally leaving the house, I think, or something. I don't know, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember it was like right, like or maybe it was like the night before, and we couldn't get anybody out until like the next day, which is kind of how this is. So we do have somebody that's scheduled to come out tomorrow at 8 a.m, which is amazing that we were able to again get somebody to come out. They were originally like, we'll see, we had like, they had 2 projects I think that were going on like today, and they were gonna see if they could get out like after that. But also too, because there was one point where I was the only person that was here, and I told you guys too how it's impossible to try and like deal with somebody that's in the house, a stranger, like at the dog's point of view, because also too, the dogs just will not let up, and they will just keep barking, and like you can't even have a conversation with somebody because they just bark so much. So it's like somebody has to come back in the room, and then like once one dog starts to, then they all start. So like somebody has to be with them almost like constantly if somebody's here, to keep them quiet, because they will, like when I'm in the room with them, they'll be quiet, but once I leave, they're like immediately like danger, threat, and my owner is not with me kind of thing. You know, so they get even more freaked out. And like I said, normally if it's like one dog, like they're not that bad. If they're separated, they're actually pretty good. But if I'm the only person here, that means that all of them have to be together. I can't put them each in an individual room, because for one, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's in the spare bedroom. For two, we don't want any dog in the room that we just finished the floors on in case somebody has an accident, you know, like especially being unsupervised. So that's always difficult as well, like having to be the only person and trying to handle the dogs. It didn't end up working out today, where they ended up coming, and it will be tomorrow in the morning. So, and me and Jack will both be here at least up until football practice. So anyways, like I said, long story short, a lot's been going on, guys, and we have a lot of other stuff too, like I was saying, like family stuff that's also going on right now, and it's just like I said, all of it all stacked on top of like practically 1 week, you know. So anyways, I got to some editing today, and I did wash the dishes, although I can't run the dishwasher because that would take way too long, and we can't have the water on for that long. But I did end up washing some of the dirty dishes and loaded up the dishwasher, so they're all in there. Actually, the sink is like cleared right now. It's just that we don't have any, you know, like we can't run the dishwasher. So anyways, I am going to get to bed now. I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, I'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.